So let's first sign into the console. For this, we need to have this is a free trial which I'm using right now. Okay, but if you want, you can have your fun. So this is my personal email ID. Okay, and this page is our console. Let it come up. Okay, so this is the one. So we can see everything, and it has been categorized based on what it does. Okay, for example, so altogether everything is AWS. This is our compute part. Okay, compute, the compute one. So EC2, EC2 container, Elastic Beanstalk, Lambda, they all come in compute. Okay, and then so that means this all deals with compute. This provides you the infrastructure to run any any web server, application server, anything.
Compute means what?
Compute means it's machine. Okay,
functionality on something.
No, it's your hardware on which your software runs. So that way, like we have compute nodes, right? On which you can install anything and run. So compute is like your machine on which you can install anything and run it. So any application. So something which owns the computing power. Okay. So that is your compute. So like CPU, normally it what does computation, right? That's why we call anything which does the computation, we call it compute. So in that regard, but they all have little different purpose. So EC2 is actually your generic machine on which you can install anything and run. This is especially for running and managing your Docker containers. So Docker containers is mainly we use to create different environments. Even if environments are different, it will create a virtual platform. On that, the system will run the way it runs. Like as a code, infrastructure will run as a code. Okay, like what you talk about Chef, right? Similarly, Docker is also like that. And even you have Docker in your XLS.
Yeah.
Then you have Elastic Beanstalk. This is mainly for running your web applications.
Okay.
Then Lambda is a bit different thing, and mainly is required for developers to work on. So what happens is, for example, few things you want to develop, okay, and you do something based on that, what event should occur, okay, that can be designed in Lambda. For that provides the infrastructure. So you want to do something, you just deploy, and it gives you that facility automatically. For example, you click on a button and it does this. Okay, such facility you need to design, code it. Okay, but in Lambda, few things are available automatically. So it's more like that. So mainly on this part, everything you do is everything provides you infrastructure for it. Okay. Then this is your storage and content delivery. So what is this? So mainly this is your part where you actually stores your stuff. So it can be your files, it can be your video files, it can be anything. So anything which you want to store, this is storage in AWS is provided by this means. So there are different kind of storage. One is S3, which is the common way of storage. We have one PDF also, we can check for that. Okay, let me see if I have one. It was there, but maybe I don't have the video.
अच्छा इसमें जैसे जो क्लाइंट्स होते हैं वो यही इसी डॉक में से देख लेते होंगे पूरा कि मुझे कौन सा क्या चाहिए. जैसे वर्क डॉक है यहाँ पे EMR है, ठीक है, रूट 53 है.
कौन सा वाला क्लाइंट बोल रहा?
मतलब कोई भी जैसे कोई क्लाइंट है जिसको कोई भी सर्विस चाहिए AWS से, तो वो इसी में से देख लेता होगा. जैसे क्लाउड ट्रेल है और कॉन्फ़िग है, ऑप्स वर्क है.
यस
मतलब कोई अपनी सर्विस फेच करने के लिए.
हाँ, ठीक है,
इतना पैसा लगता होगा बस.
करेक्ट. तो इसमें कैसा होता है एक्चुअली AWS का कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है? फर्स्ट थिंग इज व्हाई AWS came into picture, it's a cloud. ठीक है, तो अब किसी का रिक्वायरमेंट है, फॉर एग्जांपल समवन इज already running a setup and they want to move into a cloud. Now you have to see what all he will need and how it will be transformed into AWS. So देखोगे, he'll have a server, he has memory, he is using a storage, and then they are running a web applications, and probably if there is a failure, a message goes on mobile. Okay, so that means support guys, they get message on mobile also. So let's say this is one of the small project which runs. Now you have to move into AWS because it's becoming costly for them. They want to run it on cloud. Now what you'll do, so how many servers they're running there, you have to access them. For example, 4. So on AWS you need 4 EC2 instances. Okay, so now server is created and memory and everything based on what you need, you have created the memory. Now you'll see how many web applications you will deploy. Okay, now then you'll have to check for their disk space, so which comes in your storage. Okay, and then when I'm saying if there is a failure, a message goes for them into a mobile. Okay, that means you are using is from compute, you are using EC2 or Elastic Beanstalk, one of these. Okay, if you want to just create OS and then you want to install yourself, then you will use EC2.
Okay.
If you want something to be created automatically and run as a web, then you'll use this. Now for storage, you have many different systems.
Yes.
You can use S3, you can use Glacier, you can use storage ball, storage gateway, and everything. But they all have a different purpose. Okay, and also it differs in the capacity. This is clear, right? Video is clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Now for you, now you need two things. First of all, you have to generate alerts, right?
Generate
Alerts.
alert.
So for generating those alerts, what you need is monitoring, right?
Yes.
So that means your rest of the setup is done. Now you need to manage it or monitor it. So that means here is where you have to come. Okay. Now you have to see which one is for you. So probably this CloudWatch is what you will work.
Yes.
So you'll use CloudWatch to monitor. Okay. Now monitoring is fine. So what actually do in CloudWatch? You just design. Okay. If operating system is space goes above 90%, do this. So generate. Now, so you have your configuration setup. Applications are running. You have your storage. Now even you are managing them. So monitoring it. Now that has to be sent to a mobile. Then you have to go for this one, mobile now, right?
Yeah.
And which one you use here? Push notification service, because you just have to send message.
Yes.
Then you'll use
Push
SMS.
services.
Okay. Similarly, if someone has a requirement where you have to send email, then there may be other service. I think SNS here is used for email purpose. Okay, and same thing you can configure for even for mobile.
Message queue services.
Where is that?
SQS. Yeah, application services.
Application service. Okay, sorry. So mobile SNS is for sending messages, and when it comes to sending emails, you'll use SES and SQS. These two. Okay. So when you configure this, you will get a mail. Okay. And sometimes they are used in integration. SNS, SQS, SES, they are used in integration as well. Okay. And this comes as a part of networking, because whenever you're using something, definitely networks also will be there. So you have to see VPC करना है, route 53, direct connect, कौन सा करना है वो करना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? And database, what kind of database you want? So here database also have a different purpose. RDS means you start with the RDS, you can connect any database. Underlying database, Oracle हो सकता है, it can be your MS SQL server, anything. Okay. DynamoDB is a database provided by Amazon itself. Okay, it's NoSQL database. So ये SQL NoSQL का difference पता है ना? So NoSQL becomes more efficient ones. Okay, which are coming newest, because उसमें क्या what was SQL actual structured query language. In this it is not structured. So that means indexing
data can also be
correct
pushed inside.
तो और it becomes faster that way, क्योंकि that indexing वगैरह का वो सब issue नहीं आता.
ऐसे कुछ हो जाता है क्या?
Hadoop also uses the same concept.
The same concept है ना?
Then you have Elastic Cache, which is nothing but in-memory cache, so it makes it faster. Redshift we use for the purpose of data warehousing. So if we have just one database requirement, we'll not use Redshift. If we have a huge data requirements, analytics or uska, तो Redshift we use. क्योंकि Redshift, it has a very good facility. Okay, for example, one of your project is already working into data stage, and someone wants to move into another one, you can use Redshift to easily migrate it. That is also possible through Redshift. And then DMS. DMS is actually nothing but migration. So if you want to use Redshift for your new one, you will first use DMS and then plan it here. So different thing has a different purpose. So we'll see. So first compute node, we have these four, which has this purpose. On storage side, we have S3, which is the primary one most of the time we use. Okay, so what happens is we'll store the files here, and on our EC instances, we can own it. Okay. Then this elastic file system. Elastic file system are the actually one which are there on your EC2 instances. So when you create your storage space, this comes there. 1 second. Hello.